Up to 5th place, happy days, people. We've got our game out the way first, and we've got the 3 points. I don't know how we got there, but we got there. The first half, I was actually quite impressed with, considering the players were missing. The second half, we went from a back 4 to a back 5 in the second half, and we just sat there, had about 20% possession, and we did not concede. Every other game we've done that, we've conceded, but we kept a clean sheet. Heaven was excellent, Leach was excellent, Lammens with the saves and the high claims at the end. And I have to say, horrible performance, good result. Before the game, with the players missing, if you'd have showed us the starting 11 that we finished with before the game. So I show you the starting 11 we finished with before the game. Let me get this up on my screen. This is the starting 11 we finished with. Lammens in goal, Euro right back, Heaven left centre back, Frederick right centre back, Delo was right wing, Dorgu was left wing, Cunha was up top, Malassi was left back, Agate and Fletcher in the middle. We finished the game with that lineup, yeah? And we won the game against Newcastle. So you're taking the 3 points any day of the week. Like, the performance versus Villa was better, but we got 0 points versus Villa. The performance in that second half today was atrocious, but we got the 3 points, and I don't care. We haven't got Bruno, we haven't got Ahmad, we haven't got Mbeumo, we haven't got Masraoui, we haven't got De Ligt. I don't care how we win, even if that was one of the worst wins we've ever had, even if that was a very unconvincing performance, where if we played a better side, we might lose that, and if Newcastle could hit a barn door, we might lose that. We won the game. We got the 3 points. I couldn't wait for the game to end. That was one of the worst 45 minutes of football I'd seen that second half, but we won the game, and with the players missing, we just need to grind out results. And today we did grind out results. And it was a risky approach from Amorim because we completely lost control when he took Casemiro off. I get taking Casemiro off, bringing on another defender, going from back 4 to a back 5, being more defensive. But when we went 1-0 up against West Ham, we became more defensive. We invited on pressure and we conceded. How many times have we been 1-0 up or 2-0 up, for example, Nottingham Forest, and then we make defensive calls or defensive changes and we invite on pressure and we concede? It was very risky. Some say lucky. We're lucky to win. But do you know what? I think we deserve luck. I think we deserve the luck because I think we deserve something versus Villa and we deserve something versus Arsenal first game of the season. And today we weren't great, and Newcastle will be feeling like they probably should have scored, and they probably should have, but they didn't. They couldn't hit barn door today. We lost control. We had 25% possession in that second half. It was pretty bad. The decision making was poor. And we're quite lucky that Newcastle were a bit shite today in the final third, but we deserved that luck. We had all the players missing, but do you know what? We had just as much fight as Newcastle. We had just as much fight as Newcastle. So while they might have dominated it and while they might have missed their chances, and we might have had 24% possession here, we had the fight. And one thing that really impressed me today was the fight from the players. The way that Casemiro went like boom to Dorgu when he makes a tackle. The fight of Cunha. The only player lacking fight today was Xerxes. His head's in Roma. He was poor. He was poor. But look, let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the 2 man of the matches because I'm happy. I'm happy. Look, I didn't agree with Amorim's subs. I didn't agree with Amorim's calls. Casemiro, Leach, Shaw off, taking the experienced players off. I wasn't sure about it, but it doesn't matter now because we got the 3 points. We won the game. Scary 3 points, but we got the 3 points. And there's actually quite a few positives because we've got a lot of players missing. We're 5th in the league. We've got, hopefully, Mason Mount's not injured. But we had 2 kids put in a very good performance today. Ayden Heaven at 19 and Dorgu at 21. And I actually responded to Frank's tweet. And actually, I'm going to read out what I responded to Frank's tweet. The skill set they both technically and physically have for their age is impressive. Both raw and normal to being consistent at that age, but people don't realise how good these guys could become in the next few years if platformed correctly and in the right environment. Lots of potential, same with Euro, even though he's having a dip in form. You know, people don't realise that like 19, 20 is very young. It's very raw. And I thought Dorgu played like he did for Denmark. Dorgu was excellent today. And the goal, Dorgu got even better after the goal. And you could see that gave him a new level of confidence, Patrick Dorgu. You could see it gave him a new level of confidence. He got so much better after the goal. He made some good dribbles. He made a few good crosses. I think Sesko should have scored off the end of one of his crosses. Made a few good tackles. And Ayden Heaven was excellent. When you think of the amount of work that Ayden Heaven and Lisandro Martinez had to do today, they were absolutely excellent. I really enjoyed Ayden Heaven and Lisandro Martinez together today. I thought they were really good. I think Amorim got that starting 11 right. He could have gone with Euro, but he went with Heaven and he went with Leach. He went with 2 left footers because first half was a back 4, second half was a back 5. And I thought that they did really well because Newcastle had 75% possession. They were putting crosses in left, right, and centre. Left, right, and centre. Newcastle were attacking. Ayden Heaven and Lisandro Martinez had a lot to do. and they were on it. They were alert. I was really impressed with the two of them, and I was really impressed with their performance. And for me, that was a huge positive. I want to talk about Le Mans. I want to talk about Agate in a much better game, but let's talk about Heaven. 100% ground duels won, 100% aerials won, 94% pass accuracy, 48 total touches, 8 clearances, 3 passes into the final third, 0 fouls committed, 0 goals given away. 1.5 million. 1.5 million. We always talk about, I can't believe we sold our academy player for so cheap. I can't believe we sold Alvaro for 5 million. Look at Alvaro now. We've given James Garn away for 10 million. We gave Alanga away for 15 million. Then he got sold for 50 million a couple of years later. We sell our academy players for peanuts, and we're always complaining about it. But this time it's the other way around. Arsenal sold us a potentially world-class centre-back for £1.5 million. Well done, Ineos. Ayden Heaven is young. Ayden Heaven is raw. Ayden Heaven's going to have good games. Ayden Heaven's going to have a bad game. But if you cannot see the potential of Ayden Heaven, then do not watch football. The potential that this guy has is absolutely nuts. His positioning was excellent. His reading of the game was excellent. His physical dominance in the box was excellent. His ability to break lines with his passing was excellent. Ayden Heaven was fantastic today, and Patrick Dorgu was also fantastic today with 57 touches, 8 duels won, 5 clearances, 4-time possession won, 3 fouls, 2 out of 2 shots, 1 chance created, and 1 goal. I thought that Patrick Dorgu was also very, very good, and I was impressed with those 2 young players. I think people forget how young they are, how raw they are, and I think people, because there's this impatience in this fan base, were giving Dorgu loads of hate and stick. People gave Heaven over loads of hate and stick the other week. They're 19, 21. They're 19 and 21. Do you expect them to be ready at 19, 21? They're going to be raw. What we're seeing is 2 players with lots of potential that have shown that for their age, they're very good. And they're not going to be quite at their very best yet, but they could be very good in the next few years. I think we've absolutely robbed Arsenal for Ayden Heaven. We've absolutely robbed Arsenal for Ayden Heaven. I want to give credit to a guy for a good performance. I want to give credit to Le Mans. It was like the 84th minute. Le Mans made a really good claim because we had a very inexperienced back 5. Our back 5 at one point was Yoro Malacia, Tyler Fredrickson, Heaven, and I can't remember, I think maybe Delo right wing back. It was very inexperienced at one point, and Le Mans made some good claims. I thought Le Mans did well. Like Anana would have done us dirty there. So this was my general overview of the game. Dorgu man of the match, not just the goal, but his all-round performance, good crosses and defensive contributions. Heaven a close second for man of the match, probably Leacher in third as well. Awful second half, 0 control. Casemiro sub made no sense. I got a response to this saying, "Are you blind? We won the game. Casemiro sub made loads of sense. You just don't want to praise Amorim." No, the Casemiro sub made no sense. We won the game. Well done. We won the game, but we got worse when Casemiro came off. We were losing control. We take Casemiro off. We bring on a centre back, and we have even less control. And Newcastle had more of the ball. We won the game. But you cannot tell me that even though we won the game, that Casemiro sub made us any better. It didn't make sense. Look, I think Amorim got his subs wrong. I praised Amorim versus Bournemouth for getting his subs right. We got back into the game and unfortunately we bottled it. We won the game today, but it was risky. On another day, we lose that. Honestly, on another day, we lose that. I didn't get the Casemiro sub, but I don't care. We got the 3 points. I think Amorim's subs didn't make much sense. I know we won the game, but I think I praised him versus Bournemouth and I praised Amorim versus Villa. Even though we lost to Villa, go watch my match reaction. I praised Amorim. People say you got an Amorim agenda. No, I'm just telling you what I see. We lost to Villa. I said that Amorim didn't do anything wrong. We were unlucky. Today we won, but it wasn't a great performance. We played better versus Villa and lost. But I don't give a crap because all I give a crap about is the 3 points. On a day like this, when you've got this many players missing, you just need the 3 points. And we scraped over the line. We basically invited loads of pressure on. And for the first time ever, we kept a clean sheet, we invited pressure on. So I don't give a crap. But the subs could have cost us the game on another day, but it didn't. Hopefully the Mount injury isn't too serious because he was very good in the first half with the pressing. Martinez did very well. 3 points is 3 points. You take it. I don't care if the performance was bad. I don't care. With the injuries we have, we need 3 points. I was talking in my live stream earlier today how important it is that we get these 3 points so we can get into Europe so we can have a good summer transfer window and maybe pull someone like Elliot Anderson, and we did that. We miss Bruno. We miss Bruno's creativity. We miss Bruno's ability to progress the ball. Cunha's a good player, but he's a bit selfish at the end, but he's the type of guy that can win you a game. And one thing I have to say is the players showed real fight to get the win over the line. I loved the fight from the players today. I loved the fight from the squad today. One thing I saw was those players were giving 100%. The intensity was fantastic. They were giving 100%. Lammens was good. We deserved the clean sheet in the end. And with the players missing, you absolutely take that result. A lot of people saying that Amorim subs were good subs because we won the game. I don't think they were good subs. Because the last time he made those kind of subs, we conceded to West Ham. Normally, we invite and pressure and we concede. I didn't want him to go attacking because we could concede to Newcastle as well. But I thought we got worse from after the subs. But I'm very happy that we won. I thought Xerxes was atrocious. He just doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to. Like, his head was in Roma. You know, the bench. Look, there wasn't many options to be fair, but I thought Agate was good. I thought Agate had a good game as well. I thought that was one of Agate's best games for United. So you've got to give credit where credit is due. And yeah, I mean, look, am I convinced on the performance? No, but I think we were never going to have a good performance with the amount of players that were missing, and we won the game, and that's all that matters. I think it was a game of two halves. I think first half, I thought the setup was good. I thought Ruben Amorim, I'm going to give Ruben Amorim credit here. Ruben Amorim in the first 45 minutes set us up very well in terms of we played a back four in the first 45 minutes, in terms of quality of possession, in terms of how we were in all phases. Amorim set us up very well. Amorim, first half, tactically spot on. Second half, going to a back five, taking Casemiro off. I don't think that was good. I think we got worse, but we got over the line. The lads were fantastic today. I thought the effort from the players was fantastic today. Lammens dominant in his box, Heaven stepping up, Dorgu putting in a shift, Leach putting in a shift, Luke Shaw putting in a shift. And look, 3 points against Newcastle with the players that are injured. You take that any day of the week. And also, the ref was atrocious. The ref was trying to give Newcastle everything. Thank you for watching. Bye. Also, Lewis Miley for Newcastle was mint, and he was the best player by a country mile. Bye. Not Lewis Miley, Lewis Hall. Lewis Miley is mint, but Lewis Hall, sorry, was Newcastle's best player by a country mile today. Lewis Hall was causing us problems, but Lewis Miley is also mint. Thank you for watching. Bye.